School meal programs in Ontario are struggling to keep up with increasing demand from students. The Coalition for Healthy School Food in Ontario says over the past 2 years, meal costs have increased by 40 to 80% for providers, while student participation rates in these nutrition programs has also increased by 25 to 40%. The group wants to see an increase in investments from the Ontario government. Sarah Keyes, provincial coordinator at the Ontario chapter of the Coalition for Healthy School Food, joins us now from Ottawa. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
So how are programs administering school meals responding to these supply and demand challenges right now?
Yeah, so there's a few different ways that providers are responding to these challenges. Some have been forced to reduce their offerings. So going from serving meals to only one serving or two servings like a granola bar. Others are reducing the number of days that they're serving programs. So going from serving 5 days a week to only 2 to 3. In the last school year, some programs had to pause or stop their operations altogether while they fundraise for more money. And then in many regions, there's also wait lists for the first time ever. And then one more way is that some regions are continuing to run their full programs, but they're going into hundreds of thousands of dollars into the reserve funds to be able to do so, all of which is, unsustainable. So, yeah, we know that there's been record-breaking community fundraising happening, but what we really need is to see a core increase in the next provincial budget to address these challenges.
Okay, so on that topic, your organization is asking the Ontario government to double its current investment in student nutrition programs. The Coalition for Healthy School Food is calling for $64.5 million for school meal programs when Ontario tables its budget later this month. So how exactly would that money be used?
Yeah, there's a lot of really important ways that it would be used. So first, it would definitely help these programs who are struggling stabilize and make sure that the students that are accessing these programs are getting the quality and quantity of food that they are used to. And so that's one way. Funds would also hopefully help eliminate the wait list. So we know that in only 4 regions in Ontario, there are 100 schools on wait lists. And so hopefully those wait lists would be eliminated and any school who wanted to participate in these programs would be able to be brought on board. Now, we know that doubling the investment isn't going to allow all schools in Ontario to have a school food program, but hopefully any school that would want one would be able to come on board after the programs are stabilized. And then with more and more funding, whether it's the provincial government or the federal government stepping in, we can see, innovative and opportunities that school food there's some school food programs that are running these really innovative programs, and we could see those being scaled up, and things like local procurement, centralized purchasing, offering cultural food items, all these really great things could be integrated with enough money.
Yeah, and just that federal perspective. I mean, this isn't just an Ontario problem. Every province and territory has some form of school nutrition initiative, but Canada's the only G7 country without a national school meal program. So what's it like across the country? How much variability is there in these programs when you look province to province and territories?
Yeah, well, we know every province and territory does give money towards school food programs, but they do vary depending on where you are. And so we know that across Canada, there's about 35% of schools who have these programs. So there's a huge gap. 2/3 of schools don't have these programs. And it depends, again, on what investments the provinces are making. And so we've actually seen some really great investments coming out in the last year. BC has $71.5 million. The Newfoundland government just announced $10 million, Nova Scotia $18.8 million, and then Manitoba $30 million. So these programs in those provinces are going to really be boosted and look really comprehensive, whereas in places that there hasn't been a big increase, they're struggling like we are in Ontario. Now, we did have a one-time investment in Ontario of $6.1 million in 2023, and so we are very thankful for that coming in. But again, we need that bigger and more sustainable investment to be to see the programs be running at full capacity.
Sarah Keyes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.